Hi guys, we are going to continue reading about Louis Braille today just to review the expectations for our notes in our ELA notebooks about your biography subjects. So we left off here on page 7 and 8, and if you remember, we were saying that the first couple of pages were chapter 1, then we were saying 3, 4, 5, 6 were chapter 2. So now I am going to write about Louis Braille, write his name at the top of the paper again. And chapter 3. And as I'm reading, I'm going to remember I'm looking for important dates, important information, things that I would want to know if I were reading a biography about this person. So it says, remember this is after he just became blind, and he said, "But the sun did not come. I sat by the window, training my ears to do what my eyes could not. Clang, bang, kish, kish, that was Papa in his shop. Swish, swoosh, swoosh, swish, long-skirted ladies hurrying to market. Clomp, 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 stomp, soldiers marching down the street. Grr, grr, ruff, ruff, grr, the neighbor's angry dog chained too tight. Alone in the dark, I knew just how he felt." So, your biographies are written a little bit differently where they give you the facts directly. Because this is a story written about Louis Braille's life, I'm going to take this information and I'm going to say that he trained his hearing to see what his eyes could, or he used his hearing to see what his eyes could not. So my first fact for chapter 3 is after he lost his sight, Louis trained his ears to see, because they weren't really seeing, they were hearing, but he could imagine the pictures in his head. So to see what his eyes could not. And then I can't forget page 7 and 8. Okay. My family did what they could. Papa made me a wooden cane. Each day I walked a little further, tap, 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 counting the steps between the house and the garden, the vineyard and the chicken coop, the baker and the miller's, and back to Papa's shop. My brother taught me to whistle. And when the sound echoed back, he warned me of things in my path. So if you look here, if we zoom in a little bit, when he got close to something and he whistled at it, he would hear the sound vibrations bounce back, so he knew that something was closer to him. It said, my sisters made a straw alphabet, and Papa made letters with leather strips or by pounding round-topped nails onto boards. With my mom, I played dominoes, counting the dots with my fingertips. So I think it's important here that on pages 9 and 10, we talk about how his family tried to help him find ways to learn. So Louis' family tried to help him. And you know what? We were talking about this earlier. Smelling, sight, sound, feeling. I'm going to say Louis' family tried to help him learn by using his other senses. And that is on pages 9 and 10. And then the last pages. So the village priest taught me to recognize trees by their touch. Oh, see, he's using touch. Flowers by their scent, there's the smell, and birds by their song, and there's hearing. I listened closely as he read from the Bible and from books of poetry. Do you have books for blind children? I asked. No, Louis, the priest replied. I'm sorry. When I was older, I went to school with the other village children. All day, as they wrote down words and numbers or read out loud from printed pages, I sat in the front row, listening and memorizing. Do you have books for blind children? I asked again. No, Louis, the teacher replied. I'm sorry. But I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. I just wanted to read and write on my own like everyone else. So I'm going to take away the most important thing on these 2 pages are none of Louis' teachers had books for blind children, but he wanted to, and I'm going to go back and make sure I have it right, read and write on my own like everyone else. So he wanted to read and write on his own like everyone else. And that's pages 11 and 12. So there I have my 3 facts for chapter 3. And now I'm going to go work on my timeline. I'm going to go work on a character trait, and I'm going to work on a reading response. Please do not forget to do those. I also am going to make sure that you guys have this as an example. So I will give it to the substitute to hand out so you can use it as a reference of what your notes should look like. Please don't forget to skip a line in between to label your chapter and label the subject that you are reading and writing about. See you later.